Boop.
In today's episode of Battle for Middle Shirts.
You all die! Congratulations! Okay.
Like in the last 5
That's what happens if Prashka ran the game. It's like, congratulations, you all dead.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
I want to see my name in credits.
Yeah, you'd probably be like mercenary number 2.
Ouch.
I mean, hey, it's a roll.
Yeah.
True.
Unnamed smartass. That'd be Reaper. Alright, so quick recap. At the end of last session, you guys ran into Tonald Drumpf, TM, and you ended up almost getting attacked by his guards, but the rest of the party showed up. Fertilla, Orissa's sister, Gloop, and Squiggles killed the guards, and then they reunited with the rest of you, along with 3 new party members. Gibby, the goblin that Morgak is familiar with from Wintervale, who they left behind with Parashka. Couple things have changed since you last seen him. He's currently missing his left arm. In replacement of that is a sort of like a clockwork metallic robotic arm. And his eyes and stature seem a little more maniacal than last. I think Parashka broke his mind. And since then, Gibby has taken a liking towards fire and explosives. So he's basically a arms and explosives expert.
I have a detonator now. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
How can he be an arms expert if he's only got one?
That's exactly why he's an arms expert, because he lost it.
Morgak, are you secretly a dad somewhere?
He is a dad.
Yeah. Morgak doesn't remember.
Too much blunt force trauma.
Things.
Mm-hmm.
New plan, figure out how his arm works, see if we can implement that into the Jerry mech.
Yeah, you could do that. You could be like Rocket Raccoon. It's like, I just want to steal things.
Sounds good.
Yeah. In addition to Gibby, you also were introduced to Zalis, Zeratis' sister, who is a ranger and was captured by their youngest sibling, Zamar. So Zamar is working with the Bakurug cult to sort of appease the cult into taking pity on his sister. He has no love for his brother, though, as you guys probably could tell from the last time they met. So, also, lastly, we had...
Igor Vasilievich Mesmerov.
Yes, Igor Vasilievich Mesmerov, who, oddly enough, speaks in a German accent and is the creator... Well, I changed it because I couldn't do French. It sounded too ridiculous. So, he was responsible for creating the potion of Geth. However, he was not the one who was responsible for allowing it to be corrupted by the radical group known as the Blighted, who seems to be the most recent threat to the kingdom of Adnil, as well as the world. So not only do you guys have to contend with the Bakur cult, you also have to contend with this group called the Blighted. I also know that I think Hivsham picked up a book of the Yellow Sign, which was a clue as to the whereabouts of where the Blighted are and what they're up to. As of right now, you guys don't know who exactly they worship. All Igor said is that they're kind of like an offshoot of Geth, the king of undead, or the Lord of Undeath. So they more or less worship death and destruction, so that's always a good sign.
Yay.
Mm-hmm. And to fill you in, Oust, your father is a spy for Lady Benadryl back in the Kingdom of Adnil. Lady Benadryl was like an old friend of the original group who assisted them in a couple of their adventures, as well as helped with the siege of Adnil, defeating the Drow necromancer Iliad. So, they go way back. She ended up sending a spy to track down what Parashka was up to and to have your father meet up with you guys and give you information as to what was going on in Adnal since you people have left. I would say at least 2 months ago almost, I think it's been. So, yeah, that's the summary of what happened last session.
Morgak also ate the pig.
Yes.
That I did.
You guys, as far as I know, you only have about 2 health potions in addition to the ones already in your inventory, as well as have no provisions, so you have no food or water.
That's where you're wrong, buddy. I have my bag of emergency rations, which is
a snack for you.
Is the Jerry head still in Reaper's pouch?
I will eat Jerry.
Send him to find some food.
Well, Reaper just realized that he forgot all about Jerry. It looked in the pack, and you can hear snoring coming from his pack, and he just looks up to you guys. It's like, he's fine. He just closes the pack.
We didn't even need to cast a spell on him. He's just gone sentient. He's beyond that.
Okay.
As far as you guys know, he's pretty much comatose. It's just a head asleep in his bag, snoring loudly.
Excellent.
That's good to know.
Oh, Harkon, I didn't see you come in.
Yeah, like I was actually here planning another session. I was like, oh, there's things happening in this channel. Yeah.
Yes, welcome back. Did you hear the whole summary of what happened last session?
More or less, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, cool. So just for continuity's sake and to save me a headache, we'll say Harkon was with you guys the whole time, strumming his lute while you were just defeating all the bad guards and stuff. He was a little preoccupied trying to learn his "We Will Rock You" song. So
Yeah, Redcon told that he came with the others to
Yeah.
attack.
yeah, he would have been with Artie and Jack. He was just tagged along. Yeah, Song of Rest has been playing the whole time. Everyone's just really tired.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys are in the middle of
Nowhere.
well, more or less. You guys don't exactly know where you are. All you guys know is that you are currently surrounded by very thick forest, and you hear the sound of rushing water actually pretty close by. I would say in sort of like a northerly direction. Actually, no, I should say south direction. My mistake. Southwest. No, southeast. Southeast. Yeah, I got to remember my map. So it's just around the corner.
Wow.
Is there any chance anybody know where the hell we are?
Can we roll a survival or knowledge nature?
I would allow either of those. Sure, you give it a shot and see if you can track down where you are.
They're both crap for me, so
Yeah.
Can I use guidance on him?
I have a disadvantage as it is, my dude.
Well, you've never tried it before. It's just like Arcanorc, like you roll nat 20 on another survivor. He's like, I know where we are. Just get out.
Alright, sure. Give me the, what is it, a D4 for guidance?
I think, yeah, Harkon, you are level 6, and
It's a D4, yeah.
yeah, it's 1d4.
Come on, Morgate.
Oh, okay.
Drop to 17.
So
12 total.
12 total? Okay. Morgak, I'll say that your keen senses have allowed you to determine that you are no longer close to the coast whatsoever. You guys are deep in the forest area of the kingdom of Aereithel. So you're not in the kingdom of Adno.
You just
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
I thought this was for me.
Why is my map not loading? This is
You're dying.
bah.
Oh no.
Not again.
Well, this is unfortunate.
So yeah, you guys are in Aereithel, but and you're not near the coast. That's all you can really tell from where you are. You don't smell any sea, air, or anything.
Alright, we're still in Aereithel, or wherever, and there's no oceans. Yep,
Which way is north?
that way. I think I know which way north is, right?
Yes.
Is there a sun?
So yes,
Look for moths.
it's dusk right now. It's actually getting quite dark.
Let's run from here before those bastards come after us.
Ah, come on, we can take some more.
Well, shit, why not?
Just, I mean, our best chance would have been you to just throw the pig corpse at them. They probably would have just gotten
Vomited.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give us an advantage.
It's eaten.
Everyone would
already.
have to roll for Constitution if you threw it.
The half-elf wife would have made sure I'd be fine.
Mhm.
Used to stuff like that.
So where you guys want to go? Which direction?
Forward.
No, do we know which direction that city would have been in? Or we just know that there's no coast and we're in Ardenal?
You just know there's no coast and you're still in Aereithel. That's it.
Aereithel.
Can I... from where the wind blows? If it blows.
Roll for survival.
Okay.
You think the wind is blowing from the northwest.
Okay, so... Little knowledge out of game. Northwest.
I'm not like a
Holy shit.
meteorologist by any means, so
Yeah, but there are like winds
Yeah.
from the equator, from the... Holy shit, I know nothing. Let's go.
that's what I mean. Like you're old and 9. You're just like, wind is coming from the northwest, so calculating. I think we need to go center left.
Let's go east.
I thought we came from the east.
Yeah, the east is the ocean. And at the ocean there must be some settlement.
Wait, guys, didn't Smithy say to the southeast there's running water?
Yes.
Yeah.
If we can get to a river and we follow the river, we can find a river town.
Correct. Let's go that way.
Okay. So you guys follow the sound of the water, and you reach a waterfall. At this point, it is quite dark out. It was a little farther than you guys thought it was going to be. So
Can I wash myself?
well,
I
roll
probably smell like animal.
roll for survival again.
Oh no.
I'm
It's
so
the sewer river.
bad.
Okay. The water looks murky, but still pretty clean and crisp enough. It looks like you could easily bathe in there without catching anything.
Morgak was gonna go, like, get a drink of water, and I take it you just swan dive in there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how messy are we?
Pretty much.
You're messed up. You're covered in caked
Some
blood
of us are
and
just-
like just gore of other people and just
Half charred.
and you
So
you were like
I'm
in a
gonna
jail cell
head-
for God knows how long.
with
You
no
all smell
feeling.
pretty
I'm
rank.
gonna head
I'm stuck
away
in prison.
from the guys.
And time
So-
keeps
Okay,
dragging
so
on.
we're gonna say that you and your sister managed to find like a quiet little corner of the waterfall just to kind of like undress and bathe yourselves, and Squiggles is kind of like standing guard, just kind of like fluttering in front of you, or fluttering to kind of like block, and he's like growling at all the guys that kind of like glance over on occasion. Yeah. Yeah. So
Morgak, do not look at there.
So, Hivsam and Oust, you take 1d4 magic missile each. So, we're gonna say...
So Morgak and Harkin looked over.
No, Morgak would not look
Morgak
over.
did not. Oust and Hivsam did, so both of you take 4 magic
wait,
missile
how did that-
damage as it fires right into your throats, both of you. You
Well,
can.
no, I'm even more close to that.
Our plan wasn't to look at them.
Well,
What?
I thought you guys said you looked at them.
Oh,
No,
I said to Morgak, like, don't look there.
I was muted.
Okay. All right.
No.
Well, if when you guys kind of glance over, you can see like a growling, flying pseudo dragon just ready to fire off one at you.
I just turn around, back away, and don't look back.
I turn my head in the water.
Okay. Magnus wants to know if anyone wants to clean him off using magic.
Morgak throws him into the water.
Okay.
I clap.
So yeah, not so lucky there. With a great splash, Magnus just kind of like just comes up sputtering from the water and just like. And Gloop is at the edge of the water, just like splashing his hands together happily. He's like, "Oh, splurse, splurse."
Oh.
Should we send
Okay,
Justus
so
to
does
catch some
everyone
fish?
remember when I mentioned about feeding a python?
No.
No.
Not particularly.
Okay, so if you feed a python like too much food, it will become too big for your house. That's why I think we're gonna have to put Sploosh on a diet.
Oh,
thought he
good.
was Gloop.
Gloop, yeah.
Whoop.
No more goblin eyes, buddy.
You see his eyes just kind of sink into his body. He's like, "Oh."
I'll find you somebody just after we get out of this.
And then he hugs you and you die.
He knows not to do that. He's just like clapping.
I would scratch him with a stick.
So,
The stick melts.
as you guys are doing your bathing, you notice that Zalus and Zeratis are off to the side, kind of like talking in hushed whispers right now.
I would yell at them, go catch some fish, don't be lazy.
They both turn and glare at you and go back to whispering.
I was joking.
I think they're dealing with
I want to-
family stuff.
Pretty much.
I feel like
There's a lot of family stuff.
Yeah, no, recently it was just a mess of family issues, myself included. Yeah, I don't think.
So glad I don't have family problems right now. It's great.
You shouldn't
Neither.
say that. Morgak, you should not have said that.
It's
You're
just-
asking for it right now.
Life could not be better.
Literally.
Well, he's looking for his family, but once he finds
yeah.
them, yeah, that's it, really.
My family's very capable of holding on for themselves.
Hmm.
You know, me and orcs and stuff.
Yeah. You don't want to know how they consummated their marriage. It was rough.
Ooh, did
Best
not
night
need
of
to
my
hear
life.
that.
I didn't have a marriage with my family.
You think all the scars all over his body are from battle? They're not.
There's only like 3 of them from battle.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They're love bites.
I need mind bleach, please.
I'm pretty sure they have a mind wipe spell somewhere, yeah.
Just find an intelligence devourer.
Yeah,
Mind flayer, please.
there you go. It'll suck your brain out. And then the mind flayer will have nightmares.
Yes, take one for the team.
So,
Alright, what now?
well, like I said, right now it's like really dark out. You can barely see like 5 feet in front of you. So, it's up to
I
you
will
what you
start
guys
the
want to do.
fire.
You start a fire? Okay.
Queen.
I would
So,
search for fish.
Gibby...
No one else.
Gibby has already taken the liberty of gathering a bunch of dry sticks on the sand of the beach, and he
Hey, Gibby,
removes
come here.
from his pocket a bomb, and he turns to you, Hivsam, and he's like, huh?
Gibby, wind the river. Fish will flow
Sister,
out. And I was
when
around
you
the
went
river.
to do our rescue mission, did you bring a pair of spare clothes?
Gibby looks at you, looks down, looks up, and just kind of blushes and goes like, I got check.
Good boy.
You got check? What?
He said, I'll go check, and then under his breath he says,
Oh.
boobs. He comes back with, like, this sort of, like, ragged-looking cloak that looks like it's all patchwork together. And he's like, give me spare clothes! And he hands it to you. It smells horrible.
Gibby, do you by any chance have some...
Reputation on the cloak.
Okay.
Do you have any detonation in your property? Sorry.
Bam! Bam! And he takes one out of his pocket. It's already lit. And it looks like it's got
Whoa.
about a 10-second fuse. It's like, bam!
I
In the
throw
river, in
one.
the river!
Oh! Oh! And he throws it into the pile of sticks on the beach, and with a great explosion, half the beach is like on fire now, and the sticks are strewn everywhere, and there's ash and dust and sand that kicks up.
Well, if there are any guards in the forest, they know where we are now.
Zalus just stomps right over to him and smacks him upside the head. He's like, what are you doing, you imbecile? Gibby, show bomb he want to see. And she just, like, takes out some flint from her pack and some fire starter, some paper. She's like this, quietly. And she just shows him how to make a fire. And he's just, like, nodding and kind of, like, scratching his head, going, like, it'd be better if it was a bomb, but... Yeah.
I would sit down and start crying because obviously I will get no fish that day.
Can I do a survival check to see if I can get some fish?
Sure.
Can I help him with that?
Yes.
Actually, never mind. You got it.
Oh, okay. So, I'm going to say with a little finagling, you managed to create a very rudimentary spear out of some wood and a sharpened rock you found, wrapped around with some vine. And you managed to catch, I'll say, about medium-sized fish. It would feed Morgak for the night, and for you guys, it's basically rations. It'll sustain you for tonight, but tomorrow you're going to be starving.
Morgak had the pig, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Morgak is good for another day.
As you guys are spending time trying to fish and forage for food, Zeratis comes back with about like an armful of various berries and even some like rooted vegetables that he managed to find in the forest. And he says, "Don't worry, I made sure all of these weren't poisonous. Except for maybe the mushrooms, but yeah, here you go." And he just kind of like drops it all on the ground, and Gibby immediately just like jumps towards the pile of food and starts stuffing his face with all the berries.
Can I check again if there is any poisonous one?
Yeah, roll survival and see if you can check that. Actually, let's do investigation. Let's switch it up, shall we?
Feel like Bear Grylls.
Everything's perfectly safe.
Eat them all.
Not sure by this.
Come on, I can't be wrong.
Well, tell me what
I've
you
been
guys...
surviving for thousands.
Alright. Well, what are you eating? Are you just eating the berries, or are you eating pretty much everything? Yes, berries have an excess laxative effect. This is true.
I would eat some of what Gibby has because
Berries
obviously
are
he's
like
not dead
coffee,
yet.
where they just make you poop.
Yeah, more or less.
Well, it depends.
I may or may not have a vendetta against coffee.
Once the fire started, Zalus turns to Gaby and starts pulling him away by the collar and says, like, "You're sitting in the corner, you're letting everyone else have food, or else I am going to eat you myself." And she bares his teeth at him, and he just kind of like cowers. He's like, "Gibby no want to die." Okay.
Sister!
That wasn't your sister. That was
Oh,
Zalus.
who was it?
Your sister is just kind of like warming herself by the fire right now.
Knowing my sister should do that too.
Probably. But right now she's kind of like downtrodden a bit, and
Weepy.
a little like Igor is kind of comforting her a bit, saying he'll be fine. Like once he gets his ingredients and formula, he'll be able to fix her up just fine.
Another Nazi elf.
Mesmerov, you're a man of alchemy. Is this thing safe? I mean, probably it is, but
What are you
should have
showing
looked
them?
At the berries and mushrooms and other
Berries and
stuff.
mushrooms. It's like, yes. Well, the berries are perfectly safe as long as you don't eat too many. You don't want to be poopy. As for the mushrooms, have you eaten any of the black spotted ones by chance?
I think I did not.
Oh,
You think you didn't?
I hope I did.
Okay. Well, those are hallucinatory. So good luck, my friend.
Well, that's quaint.
Outstanding.
My character will just eat the berries because she's never trusted mushrooms.
I like how no one's stepping up to have any fish.
Well,
Genuine Wingets already torn into us.
are you cooking the fish now over the fire? Or are you just letting it on the sand? Because
I mean, they're still kind of impaled on the spear.
Yeah.
Just standing there and holding onto them.
so you guys see Oust holding like a spear of fish expectantly at you guys, just kind of looking, waiting for thank you, and you're just kind of ignoring him. He's just like,
Thank you. You need to put them back though.
I shrug, start roasting them.
on the spick. Yeah, just turning them around.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll say you guys you got to eat all the berries with the exception of majority of the spotted mushrooms. And all the berries are gone. Most of the mushrooms are gone. Oust. Oh, sorry, not Oust. Igor pockets the rest of the spotted mushrooms, just because he figures he could probably use them in something later on as a weapon, possibly. We'll see.
Oh no. Noted. Did Gibby have any of the spotted mushrooms?
He didn't eat any of them. He knew what they were.
Then who did eat them?
Oh, do any of you guys know who Mysterio is?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what comes to mind.
Because
Using the hallucinatory mushrooms, taking their extracts and making them well.
Mm-hmm.
I get the idea.
Just like bombs of illusions. Hifsham, you should co-op with him on this project. See where you get.
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. Mad scientist with
That's
another
it.
mad scientist.
With a madman. Of course I will. Just we have to get to safe. For now.
Reaper, Zalus, and Zeratus, along with Gloop and Squiggles, all have seemed to have gone to bed right now. So, Igor and your sister Fertilla seem to be getting along quite nicely. They're still talking by the fire. She seems to have calmed down a bit.
So, sister.
Alright.
Do you say that in character?
Oh yeah.
So you can. She looks up at you. She's like glares at you. She's like, "What?" She didn't say what. She just kind of like, "What are you doing? I'm busy."
She wiggles her eyebrows.
She just like shakes her head and turns back into the fire, warming her hands.
Well,
That's how it is, like with older siblings. They're just like, I know what you're doing.
Hey, hey,
I know what
hey!
you're doing.
What have you been up to, Harkon? Are you just kind of like playing your lute?
I was eating the fish.
Oh, you're eating.
I think he's trying. I'm pretty sure he's trying to dry it after being thrown into the river.
Yeah, like someone tried to turn me into a fish.
I see.
Just be glad I didn't try and hit you with the spear.
All right. So, are you guys gonna go to bed, or you want to do anything else before that?
I vote bed. No.
Because watches.
Sir. Doctor.
Just call him Igor.
Just call him Igor?
Yeah, that's fine. That's his first name.
Oh, but the snazzy name.
Dr. Igor. Is there a possibility that there might be anything we can use for this potion in this vicinity?
He kind of like looks around. He's just like, I'm afraid not, my dear. There's only ferns and water and some little fishies. So not quite. We have to go deeper into the forest in order for me to find anything that might help.
Alright. Thank you.
You're welcome. And with that, Fertilla kind of like grabs his arm and like takes him off to the side of the camp. And, to talk, we'll say.
Oh!
Oh.
To talk, you say?
To talk.
Just to talk?
We'll say talk, yes.
More wiggling eyebrows. I'm just
See, there's a reasoning why I took this spell.
just kind of looking at her, disconcerted from the cackling.
You have issues, dwarf.
Okay.
She casts invisibility on herself. It lasts for an hour. She wants to spy her sister.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
Sleeping.
Okay.
Orgak is gonna take first watch unless we're not doing a watch.
Do you guys want to do a watch or no?
I say we take a watch.
We should take watch.
Wake me up in 4 hours.
Alright, so
I sleep less.
I'll take note of who's taking watch. Who's going first? Morgak,
will,
you said?
I guess.
It's just yourself then, or is anyone going to take watch with him?
I figured I'd get some help from Amerthis, considering she's invisible right now.
You have no idea where she is right now, but we'll say that, yeah, okay. She's going to still be up. So, Morgak. Oh, God, this pen does not work. All my pens don't work. Okay, so first watch is Morgak, and I'll just put Orisa. Okay, who's second watch? You only need 2. So, you got your first one.
Okay, who's in the best health right now?
I'm at 47.
If Sam
Magnus
will...
and Magnus.
Yeah. I'm probably.
Oh, yeah, Magnus didn't take any.
He actually hasn't used any of his spells either.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. I'm.
No, you're having watch.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, so Morgak and Orisa will be first, and then Hivsam and Magnus will be second. Okay,
Sounds good.
so I'll go back to you, Orisa. You see her kind of like... you see your sister kind of like have her shoulder on his... well, have her head on his shoulder, and he's just kind of like comforting her right now. And she's just like holding on to him. Doesn't look like they're really doing anything.
Oh.
Yet.
Yeah.
Who else is now? And I have a pretty decent stealth.
Yeah. Ursa, I want you to roll for perception, please. Ursa?
What? I'm making perception?
Hello?
Yes, roll for perception, please.
Oh!
Yeah, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. It's just you, your sister, and Igor. Morgak, can you roll for perception, please?
Arm dude, this is gonna be so good, guys.
Ambushing coming in 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you hear some whispering coming from the camp where Zalus and Zertis are right now.
They're being really loud. I say to no one as I look around and realize everybody else is asleep. Oh. Okay.
I'm kind of just barely awake.
I continue to sit on the log I chopped down 5 minutes ago.
All right.
With what?
Okay.
I have like 2 axes, dude. 3 technically.
Well, that's effective,
Where are
okay.
the axes?
So, during your watches, nothing else really happens. Arissa, your sister just kind
One
of
is for hacking and one is for slashing.
yeah, pretty much.
Both are for killing.
So your sister falls asleep in Igor's arms. They didn't do anything really out of the ordinary. And Morgak, you don't hear any more whispering. Just some rustling of bushes, and that's about it. So,
Rustle.
She'll head back to the camp. A little sad.
yeah, you creeper.
Okay, I guess I noticed because you are invisible.
Yeah, he does not notice this. So, do you guys want to wake up Hifsam and Magnus for a second? Watch.
Yep.
Okay. So
5 more minutes.
you just see
Hour,
you see
really
nothing
away.
pushing you, Hifsam. You're just like getting nudged, but you don't see anything. You just think you're dreaming right now. And then a swift
know,
kick in the back hits you, and you just kind of like jump up startled.
I would kill you right now, but I am so good. I am so rested now. I cannot really do that. I haven't had sleep since that periwinkle night few months ago. Anyway, I'm up to the watch. Have a nice sleep.
Okay.
So basically I have all health and spell slots, right?
You don't have
that-
full health. You have half health because you had
Yeah,
a short
it's-
rest.
Oh.
You
So
got another like 4 hours until the long rest.
So
Yeah, but I
anyone
think
who
I have
takes
sleep.
watch only gets a 4-hour sleep.
Yeah, but you know, the feature of elves, you know, I have like, how do you call
Yeah,
it? Like,
I mean-
I have 4
yeah,
hours
so you still
required
need-
for.
Yeah. So you
Long
still
rest.
need the 8 hours to get the thing, but only 4 hours of that needs to be meditation, sleep.
Yeah.
So you
So
still need the 8 hours to get all your stuff done.
Okay, so I have restored only half of HP.
half of HP and half of your spell slots.
Wait, for the
spell
full
slots
rest?
are all.
Oh, for
Because
half rest.
short
Oh,
rests.
well, yeah, because you were
For
basically meditating, but
warlocks.
you still have to have a full rest in order to get everything
Yeah,
back.
so-
Yeah, I think the short rest restores all spell slots for warlocks.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
okay.
warlocks.
Okay, yeah, that's fine then.
Okay.
All right. So I'll start with you, Hifsam. Make your perception roll.
Okay. Such a beautiful shift.
Oh boy.
Nothing out of the ordinary. Everything's quiet.
Oh,
Magnus.
19.
So as you peruse around the camp, just checking on everyone, you notice where Zalus and Zeratis were. There are 2 drag marks. They're gone.
Oh, there are our lizard friends seem to have disappeared.
What? I would. You
know,
know,
big guy,
likely.
Ocarina, plays terrible.
I know, but what happened? I would, you know, like look there, but I would not go through the dark. It's dark
Okay.
there, right?
Roll for investigation. See if you notice anything different. So,
Yeah.
from what you can tell, the drag marks that have
He's
been
a-
made.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
We can,
So, yeah, Hifsam, you notice that the drag marks are definitely 2 very large creatures being kind of like pulled off into the forest. But when you reach the edge of the forest, the drag marks stop, and you notice a bunch of broken branches heading towards the southwest of the forest.
Is this a dragon?
Okay, I use my minor illusion to yell as loudest as possible. We have a situation.
Okay.
whoever's waking me up better be. No.
Oh, I've been up for a while. I haven't used any
tired.
spell slot. Well, no, I went to sleep. I didn't use any spell slots. I'm good.
I would
I got
go
4
around and
hours.
kick people up to get up. We have a
Okay.
situation, people. It's a dipshit. Get up.
Do you kick Morgak too? Is that
No, I'm
okay.
not that.
I was gonna say, I was gonna fight your fucking leg off.
Magnus rolls him into the river as revenge.
You could roll him.
Certainly
You need
try.
3 people to do that. Okay, so we'll say everyone's up in a big startling mess. Y'all just kind of like start half awake, grabbing your weapons and trying to like put your armor back on and everything. Just like looking around frantically, trying to see if there's like an enemy circling you.
Did everyone else hear that?
Before you try to kill me, we have a situation, as I said many times before. Zertas and his sister are gone. Somewhere I will tell you what I found, but I don't know where the hell they are. And I will tell them what I saw.
Wait, that lizard thing was the sister? Oh, I'm bad at lizards.
Yeah. Zalus and
So-
Zeratis are brother and sister. They were sleeping in the same area of the camp, and they both got, seems like, dragged off into the forest.
Do we count this as a full rest, half rest?
We're gonna count this as a half rest for everybody.
Does that
Okay,
get rid of...
and-
Wait, what does that do? Just heal half health and
Half health.
remove... Like,
Alright,
and
and
remove
would
exhaustion.
we round up on the spell slots, or...
Yeah, you can round up on the spell slots, and I'll say that the exhaustion that you had Morgak is gone.
Cool.
Alright. Good to me.
So then I get half my rages back?
Yeah, you'll get half of them back.
So
No,
then I
we
get-
could just like, roll over and go back to sleep. if
You've
already-
got like a lot of rages, so very rarely have you ever used all of them. So I don't think
True.
we'd be too worried. But yeah, so
Well, the thing is, I was sitting at 2, so I would recover 2? Because I have a total of 4.
I think
that
you would
wonderful
recover
feeling.
1 if it was a short rest, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so you'd have
I
3
hope it's the
total.
dragon that took them.
Wonderful feeling of having spells again.
D-
I like
I know.
dragons.
Hivsham, you can definitely tell this was not a dragon.
Aww.
Aw.
Well,
If it was, their limbs would be everywhere. It does not. It's not that quiet. It would not be able to
It
get past
doesn't-
you guys that easily.
well, I'm
Can
happy
we
and sad
even
at the same time.
Tell
Well,
if it's a creature?
From what you can tell, there are multiple footprints surrounding the drag marks, so it looks like it was people.
Oh, joy.
well,
it
back
was-
to the prison.
If it's not a dragon, what if it's a dragonborn?
Dragon or Dragonborn? I'll kill him.
Also, these tracks aren't
Well,
heading
right from-
towards the prison. They're not even heading in the same direction as the prison. They're heading opposite direction. Deeper into the
Oh.
forest.
Boy.
Morgak's gonna walk in the direction of the trail.
And I will
Likewise.
follow.
Okay.
Well, I guess we're going.
So Igor quickly follows along with Fertilla, who is close behind him, just kind of like holding on to his arm, just kind of like staying behind him, making sure like nothing bad is happening around them, just keeping an eye out. She seems very
Oh.
skittish.
Oh, sudden scary thought. Is Gloop just kind of dissolving plant life as we're going along?
He's leaving a little bit of a burnt trail. It's organic, so
But-
yeah.
Oh no, he's constantly growing.
That's
Well,
Yeah.
he's not
I was thinking
actively.
he was...
He's not actively eating. If he was actively eating, he would be. But right now, he's just like slooping
Existing.
along. He's just moving. He's just leaving a trail. It's kind of like a snail, but instead of like slime, he leaves like burnt marks.
Okay.
So if anyone was tracking you, it would not be hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you guys go deeper into the forest, I want you guys to make a survival check.
Okay.
Hello, I'm
Oh.
Bear Grylls. I'm gonna teach you how to spell.
Oh!
Natural 20, fuck.
Hey, 15's
bad.
pretty good, man.
Do I have advantage for Bear Grylls' speech?
Nope.
Sadly. This dragon is full of proteins.
Lydia?
Yeah.
Survival check.
You need to survive.
As
And-
you can see, the dragon in its natural habitat is resting on a pile of gold. I'm gonna wrestle it.
So, I'll say Hifsham and Magnus, you're leading the party because you seem to have a general idea of the forest and its makeup. Everyone else would have been lost without you. So, you continue down following the trail of broken branches and trees, and you just kind of like bend down to like sniff some of the leaves that have been flattened, and you just kind of like follow in a trail. As you continue on, you run into sort of like an almost open clearing. Right now it's like, I would say it's about dawn, and you run into this as you guys are walking.
Oh no! What is this?
So,
Oh, it's a rock giant.
We
you,
have found some human creatures, and they must be dangerous.
there's some pretty yellowish orange flowers that are surrounding about a 30-foot statue of a woman's head, which is protruding from the ground.
No, it's
There
not
are
a
some
rock.
traces of civilization.
Are you happy? Are you happy?
Alright, who will be the diplomat here? Who is the most tough and not Morgak?
I am the most not Morgak.
Then
So-
go there, not Morgak.
Go and be free.
Yeah, I think I'm the opposite of Morgak.
We just need help him. Well, I mean, Morgak would kill them straight away, but we need some diplomacy.
Yeah.
Best luck!
All right.
So what are we healing?
We're not healing, we're
No.
potentially talking to a rock.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
Yeah.
rock or statue's head.
it's like, oh, praise be, beautiful rock.
I'm just staring at him as he's talking to an inanimate statue.
Yeah, I'm gonna nudge Magnus and be like, why is he talking to a statue?
Don't offend the rock
I
giant.
think he's finally lost it.
Did we really send the right person for this?
Let him continue. I want to see how this plays out.
We are searching for our beloved friends. They are lizards.
So,
Please, forest. Richard, like, I'm a city bat, come on. Like, I'm
And actually, and Draconic is just like, wow, you're the brightest one.
like,
No one understands that.
Ozzy Osbourne was asked to go out on a nature trip. That's me.
pretty much, yeah. Just try to bite the heads
Did you
off every
have
squirrel.
black spotted mushrooms, dude?
So,
Yes. yes, I did.
Why have one when I could have had two?
alright,
In the taverns, you pay a lot of money for this. Like,
Harkon, I want you to roll for persuasion.
all right,
To persuade the statue.
there we go.
Alright.
Okay.
So, seemingly out of nowhere, you don't see the mouth move of the statue, but you hear a little voice pipe up and say, "Yes, I've seen your friends. I can help you find them if you'd like."
People,
It's a voice, you say.
Mm-hmm.
I think I really did it
Yes.
enough.
Mighty rock statue,
The effect
please
is...
guide the way.
Question.
Yes.
People,
Sure.
am I going really insane? Or
Because Shirley helped me to become a gnome again.
Wait, I thought you were already a gnome.
I was a gnome to be. Listen over this.
Wait, aren't you a gnome right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm confused.
I'm lost.
You had glamour on to look like a tiefling, but you took the glamour off and now you're back to your normal look, which is a gnome.
The glamour was a curse.
Oh.
It was.
Oh. So you want to know if the statue can remove your curse.
I mean,
This-
it's already. Yeah.
Wait, to make you look still like a gnome?
Okay.
Start from
So-
the beginning.
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
beginning,
How far into the beginning do you want to go?
Beginning of the explanation of the curse.
Yeah, what is the curse?
Okay, so a long time ago, her and her sister, they would always separate from their caravan to go on like these mini adventures. One day they stumbled upon a old abandoned tower, which it was a witch's tower,
Oh.
That's always safe.
and she got cursed with looking like a tiefling, and that's why I was like. And you said Shirley was the one that helped remove the glamour or the curse.
Oh, so you want to know if she can help remove the glamour or curse? Okay. So the little voice pipes up and is like, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that. Apologies. And you can kind of see like the hair off to the right hand side of the statue move a little, and out pops like a little woodland. Well, it looks like a living tree almost. It's a spriggan.
Oh,
The elves are familiar with this. You guys know what they are. They're
Oh.
wood creatures that just
Avatar
like,
of the mighty
A
rock.
nice little
Oh
spriggan.
boy.
yeah. So
Miss,
she
may I ask where the hell we are?
so
Well,
she,
that's rude.
so she introduces herself to all of you as Freya Oakenhold. So she just kind of like timidly comes out from behind the head and is like, "My name is Freya. You're in a forest. You're in my forest." She kind of just like smiles.
I will just nod my head with smile.
Yeah. She doesn't have the most social skills, you can tell. She's just like awkwardly smiling at all of you, trying to make eye contact with everyone, writhing her hands a little bit.
I kind of scoot over to Arissa and quietly say, "Tone it down with the fireballs here, please."
And she kind of like looks at all of you and she's like, "What has brought you here? You are very far from home."
You got kidnapped.
In a short story.
Yeah, that was the story. Like, we got kidnapped.
Oh, that's very unfortunate. I did see what happened to your friends. I was too afraid to do anything, but I did see two darkly clothed elves and a talking cat. They were holding collars and talking about your friends.
Oh.
I will brush my hands
Hate those
against
guys.
one another and say, finally, my 5 minutes will come.
Elves, always elves.
They didn't seem as nice as you, so I hid.
Well, do you remember anything else about them? Any catching traits?
One of them had a scar down his left eye, and he seemed to have been complaining about being stuck in a small space for quite some time. He was not pleased.
Oh boy, I'm gonna torture them, you don't even know. We're gonna find our friends.
you didn't know. We don't have a paladin with us. We can torture them
Immediately
if we
turn
want.
to him, Sam.
It's like, shush, stay on the torture, kids.
Sorry.
Leave the torture talk for when you're torturing. Or about to
Can we-
torture.
I was thinking about something else. I'm slightly insane, just don't listen to me. You know,
Don't
I've
listen to
been
him.
So,
too long out of focus.
as you guys are talking, you kind of notice out of the corner of your eye Igor eyeing the flowers and whispering to your sister Fertilla as he's like taking quite a few down from the hair and just kind of like stuffing it in his pack.
And I will send him mentally, Mesmer, get your ass over here.
It's like, yes, in a moment, and he just kind of like ties up his pack and kind of like briskly walks toward you. Hello, yes,
Scooby.
what's gonna help you?
Are these to help with the cure?
Actually, yes, this is part of what I need. These flowers are very rare in my area, so I figured I'd get some extra for myself on top of the cure for your sister.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, I
And
see.
so,
We
Miss-
met a little friend. Hello! And the Freya just kind of like shies away from him a little bit.
Don't worry, he's a nice elf. Even though he sounds like one that we met a long, long time ago.
And she just kind of like nods to you, a little bit and points to the head. And it's like, this is actually our goddess, Aereithel. This used to be a shrine until, well, we lost contact with her long ago. We've been trying to get a hold of her, but we don't know what's happened. Any chance you'd be able to help us?
Well, we've saved a few gods within our time.
Yeah.
A little bit of arrogance there.
I've heard of you. Are you the god saviors?
Yes.
I don't think that's the title we went under, but I don't know.
I've also heard of the name Twiddly Dinks, but I don't think that's actually accurate. You don't look like Twiddly Dinks.
Hey, only gnomes can use that term.
Apologies. She kind of like shrinks a little bit. So, Hifsam, you're not entirely sure what religion this is.
I have advantage.
Oh, you do have advantage. Okay, well in
Yeah,
that case,
I am proficient.
because you're a half elf and you know that you're in a forest,
full
you've
elf.
the full elf. Sorry, ooh, pompous. All right then, fine.
Sassy.
I'm not a half breed.
I am high elf.
High elf. Okay.
You peasants.
Oh, right then. So, from what you can tell from your obviously aristocratic background and how well read you are, you know that Aereithel is the goddess of the earth and is worshipped by the elves and the Sylvan and the Fae.
Those damn hippies.
I'm pretty much. Yeah.
You are a hippie.
Oh.
Yeah, hitting orc.
You want to say that again?
To a smart person, one time is enough.
Yeah, probably.
Just kidding, mate.
So Freya just kind of like beckons you deeper into the forest. Is like, I can show you a place where you can find rest and food. We call it Wormwood. It is our home.
Okay, I'm gonna turn to Igor and tell him to ask her about any of the other flora that he needs for the cure. To ask her about it.
Alright. So Igor goes up to Freya and is like, he opens up like a little notebook that he has in his pack and he flips through a couple pages and he just turns the book to her and like shows her like a little sketch of a couple things. He's like, do you know where I can find this? And she just kind of like eyes is like, yes, well, most of those components we have at our home, Wormwood. However, the final few are in Diremore Swamp, and that is far too dangerous for any of you. It has gotten infected with what we call the Black Root. Everything is dying there. All the creatures have turned evil and have been infected with this. It's absolutely horrible. We dare not go there anymore. But it continues to grow. That is why I ask you for help. Our
Do not
goddess
go to the shadowy place over there, Simba. Must never go there. Is that right?
We believe that the reason our goddess is not talking to us anymore is because she is sick with this black root. She is unable to defend herself from it.
Oh boy.
We will try our best, like we always do. But first thing, in which direction did those three people with our friends go?
They went the same direction as where Diremore Swamp is.
What a coincidence. Alright. So people, should we go straight away there or first to the magic place?
Well, I think we should visit the magical home of the
Spriggan.
the spring. It sounds great.
Well,
We need to get a bunch of those herbs anyway.
Okay.
Alrighty. Lead us, our foresty friend.
So she just
I
kind of
think she
like...
said her name was Freya.
But she's our friend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, from what you can tell.
I'm gonna incite her. No.
So she happily just like takes the lead of your party and she leads you deeper into the forest. The lush green that you guys are so like accustomed to is slowly turning into like a more wilted brownish orange color. A lot of these trees look like it's like fall, but you know the season is actually spring. So a lot of these leaves have turned like an orangey color and yellowish, and leaves are falling from the trees, and it's actually the temperature has actually dropped a little bit as well as you go deeper into the forest. The farther you go, however, you manage to reach a clearing in the woods, which is like a huge circle over a lake. And over the lake, you see this gigantic tree.
Oh!
So,
There's a fire at the top. Okay.
yeah. So, as you gaze upon its enormous size, you wonder how a thing could exist. This tree is easily thousands of years old and considerably dwarfs any castle's size, as well as the trees around it. From what you can tell, it's at least 55 stories high, and the base of the tree is surrounded by leaves the size of almost like a small hut or house. Could I get you guys to roll for perception, please?
Okay. Oh.
So I'll say, Oust and Morgak, you guys notice that the base of the tree, like the water surrounding it, is covered in gigantic leaves. It looks like this tree is sort of like got some autumn colors going as well. It's wilting. Yeah, and
Marissa?
Arissa is just like in just like complete awe about the tree. She doesn't even notice anything else. She's like, oh, that kind of awe.
I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
wow.
The big tree there. That, yeah.
Is that her or Gibby?
Gibby's just like, hey, no catch fire. Just kind of like pockets his bombs. He's just like, he's kind of itching to blow something up, it seems.
Hey, watch this. She'll create a small fire in her hands with fireball.
No.
Squiggles is just kind of like happily flying around the tree, doing some circles, and just lands on like one of the huts just above you. He just like flaps his wings happily. So,
Nice place to come and see.
yeah. At the closer examination, you guys do notice that there is a lot of Spriggans near the base of the tree. Looks like they're trading some goods like some fruit, vegetables, fish, a lot of food, even clothes that they've made from some sheep that they have corralled off to the side. So they have like some nice wool clothes to wear in case it gets too cold at night. You also notice that most of them actually look quite sickly. Their leaves on their bodies are also wilted, and the bark, the ones that are the most sick, you can see the bark of their skin kind of like peeling off a bit, and there's like these black, viscous like liquid kind of seeping from underneath their wounds. It's not looking too healthy.
That's sad.
Yeah.
So Freya continues to kind of like guide you guys through the crowd of people, and she's like, if you wish, before we head in, you can restock your provisions, and I can introduce you to Nature's mother. She will talk to you about what we've been going through and explain where to go.
Hey guys, I'm going to have to go.
Oh.
Aw. Okay.
I can trust that you will do my character proud.
Of course.
Yeah.
Pompous yet
Arissa jumps
elegant.
off the random cliff in the corner.
Yes, that's how it is. Pompous yet elegant.
Yeah. No problem.
Alright.
See you later.
See ya.
Yep.
I'm gonna inquire to the Sylvan if there's anything like a Sylvan for this massive tree.
So she says that's the mother. she's going to introduce you to her after you guys get kind of like situated, and if you wanted to buy any of the goods that they have, that you could take a look at some of those things.
That would mean that we have some private places, like rooms for ourselves, right?
Yes. So she kind of like points to one of the huts near the top, and she's like, "That will be where you stay for tonight if you wish. But if you wish to continue on the day, you can."
I thank you gladly, and I would tell mentally for them to follow as we have some important stuff to discuss.
Okay. So
Joy.
she guides the rest of the party up. So like Fertilla, we'll say Arissa goes along with her kids, and Gloop, and all the people that aren't here right now. I'll just say follow Freya and get situated in the hut up at the top of the tree.
Alright, so we're inside, right?
Yes.
Alright, folks, we have some stuff to discuss, and the first and foremost would be the letter from Benadryl. So I suppose we should read it now, since we are almost... Everybody is present, so I think we should inform ourselves.
Okay.
Should we? Shouldn't.
Yeah.
Think it's another death threat?
Might be, we don't know yet.
So Oust has the letter. Do you want to take it out, Oust, and read it?
Sure.
Okay. So the letter starts with introduction from Lady Benadryl. It informs you guys about what happened since you've left. It says the king and the king's guard, she believes, cannot be trusted. After being informed about what the king was hiding from the people in the prison with the drow prisoners, she's taken it upon herself to lead her and a loyal contingent of her army to do some investigating of their own. And what they found is that the king is a part of the Bakru cult, and he is working with the cultists to basically unleash their god upon the world, like wake him up. She also mentions that she has been in contact with the Drow Queen that you guys rescued since then, and they have been working together to try and build up a resistance in Aereithel against the infestation or insurrection of the Bakru cultists there in Aereithel. So right now they're kind of like teamed up and allied themselves to try and fight them in the human kingdom. At the bottom of the letter, there is a small note from your father, Oust, basically apologizing for abandoning you and your mother at a time when you needed him most, but he had to leave because of what was going on in the kingdom. And he says if you can't trust a king, you can't trust anybody. So he kind of like signs it as he will see you again, hopefully soon.
And not a single thing about my company.
There's no shareholder report, no.
No.
I told myself not to murder.
I think between a shareholder firm and the death of the entire world, the death of the entire world takes priority.
Yeah.
No.
World I want.
Never.
Alright, since we finished with this with disappointing results, I think we should look what we have in this book I found. So I would open it.
Okay.
Of course, first I would check if there is... Give it to Morgak, because he's Arcane Orc. Check if there is any...
Alright, Arcane Arc, do your
And-
stuff.
Dun 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 dun.
Fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, this is a book.
Pretty much, it's a book.
I don't really read these.
Okay, I would open it and,
Alright.
like, quickly scan through pages if there's anything interesting.
So when
like kid when open it, look for pictures.
it looks like it's a notebook of some sorts. It's not magical in nature from what you can tell, but a lot of the diagrams and a lot of the we'll call them symbols, you don't recognize them as any language you have ever heard of. It's not Dwarvish, it's not Elvish, it's not
And
not
I
even
can't read
Undercommon or Outer Common. You can't read it. From what you can
Even-
tell with the diagrams, there's pictures of like a what looks to be a circular object with tentacles sort of like coming out of the center, and there is a figure near the bottom of the circle with his hands outstretched holding up what seems to be like 2 books.
I'm going to use a religion check on it.
Me too.
See if I can find anything out. Oh.
I have advantage.
Yeah, so Sam,
I mean, you don't get advantage with proficiency, though, do you?
Yeah, proficiency is you just add your proficiency modifier.
yeah, his first
That's
roll
still
would
24.
yeah, his first roll did it. So
Yeah.
I know, we're just saying he doesn't get advantage unless there's some specific thing with his class.
Yeah.
with your knowledge of the great old ones, Sam, you know that this is probably a book of Hastur.
Oh.
So I
Yeah.
think
Old
we-
buddy, old pal, Cthulhu. Fun stuff.
In deep shit we might be,
So-
because this is Hastur.
It looks as if, from what you can tell, the Bakru cult is working with the lizard people, but Parashka worships Hastur. So, yeah.
Alright, so I would consult with my amulet.
All right. What do you say?
I think you should talk to your pals if they are your companions anyway, and tell me anything you know that might be useful to me. Providing that you don't kill me now.
He just demanded.
I always.
All right.
wasn't even-
Roll. Do another roll of religion. See if you can get an answer.
Smited. Oh
Right, dude.
So
no! Dragged into the realms.
the amulet that you're talking into glows a bright yellow, and in the center the gem cracks.
Oh.
Oh boy.
I'm not real good on the religion, but I think you just pissed it off.
I would start shaking. Folks, I think this is bad. But not because guy that is my boss, but because there are some consequences if I break this thing. And I would just, hang it back on the neck and be silent.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to find
All
a medicine.
fail.
We're okay, so we should probably plan out what we're doing here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can definitely go into the black swamp thingy, because that's where Zertos and his sister is. Might as well do 2 birds, 1 stone.
Well, I mean, that's where we're assuming they are.
Mm-hmm.
We're not
Yeah.
really sure. We just know they're related to some hooded figures, which Sam did comment about torturing them, so I suppose you should interrogate him on that.
I'm not
Also, I mean, the
into
tree lady said that he saw our friends go in there, so maybe she's just saying that to get us to go and fix their problems. I'm just saying.
No, that wouldn't be too surprising.
Anyway, I'm gonna go buy some rations and see if there's any potions.
Sounds good.
Get me some.
And Morgak just walks out of the room that they're staying in.
Okay.
Because after all... Sylvan, is that a type of fae?
Sylvan and Fae are kind of the same. Fae are like fairies. Sylvan are more along the lines of like woodland creatures like tree ants and spriggans.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would
Alright.
go and buy some really strong alcoholic beverage. Some shots.
Okay.
I'm gonna peruse the shops. See
Alright.
if there's anything interesting to get.
You wanna come with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Sam, you find sort of like a little nook where this older-looking male Sprigand is handing out drinks in like these carved-out wooden mugs.
May I have some, please? I would still be pale from the previous experience.
Okay. It's like he kind of like looks at you quizzically. Doesn't seem like he understood what you said.
I think I speak Sylvan. I mean, I have Elvish, but that would be Sylvan, right?
Yeah, Sylvan. Yeah.
I mean, Sylvan is Sylvan.
Yeah, I would repeat that same in the
In Sylvan?
Sylvan.
Okay. So he just like eyes wide and like smiles, and he just like turns and squeezes out from what seems to be like some udder or sack, some like brownish green liquid, and he like stirs it with a spoon, throws in a grub, and pushes it towards you.
How much for that, sir?
He just like smiles and waves you off.
I appreciate it. I would toss him like 10 gold. Anyway,
He looks at it oddly, and he kind of throws it into a pile into a corner with a ton of other gold.
you're very kind, thank you. And down the drink.
One gold.
Roll for Constitution.
Con check or save?
Con save.
Oh boy.
I want to see if he swallows the worm. You're good. You're good. So it is actually quite strong, and for some reason has like a minty taste to it almost. But it has a very strong. You've had rum before, but this is something
Surprise.
different.
It's mouthwash.
It kind of tastes like rum and mint and what we'll say mixed with some herbs. But one of these drinks is like significantly giving you a good buzz. So whatever it was delicious.
Thank you,
So-
sir.
So it's like
It is a beverage of fine quality, and I would return him the cup and go back to find the rest of the people.
Okay. He just kind of waves at you as you go.
so is he drunk now?
No, he's not drunk. He only had one, but he's got a nice
Only
buzz.
depressive.
Yeah.
Only depressed.
I'm assuming Harkon is off to the side playing this exact music somewhere.
Like I haven't been around, so I don't know how much money we have. But what is for sale?
So you
At the
you see like there's like a stall with someone selling herbs, another stall selling fruits and vegetables, one person who's knitted together some very crude looking wool clothing. It looks like they're preparing for like a cold winter ahead, so they have like blankets and quilts and stuff there. But yeah, it's very rudimentary. They don't have any weapons from what you can see made up. A lot of these brigands, who you can tell are guards, just have like spears. So it doesn't look like they're very warring country. They're very peaceful. It's more
do they have,
defense.
Do they have any like cool jewelry or like a brooch or something?
Yeah, they have some brooches. None of them have like any metallic figures around it, but they're kind of like entwined with like little vines that they have and flowers, and it looks like a couple of them are kind of like you see a couple ones that have rubies and emeralds in the center, all lined along the side with diamonds. So quite a few of these are very nice looking brooches and necklaces.
Actually, do any of you have enough money for us to buy a diamond? I need a diamond for spellcasting purposes.
How much?
We don't do
300.
material components though.
Oh, we don't? Like
No,
even
no.
for resurrection?
No, I assume you guys have that typically. Whenever I do this whole shopping thing, I just have you spend like a rudimentary amount of gold if you want to refill your, supplies for your spells. So for a diamond, how big of a diamond are you thinking here?
Well, it's a 300 gold piece diamond. Like, if 1 gold piece is how much someone earns in a day, it's a year's worth of salary.
Okay. So I think looking through the jewelry, you do find a significantly sized diamond for your purposes. It is the person who is selling it for about 350. Because it's a
All right.
necklace. It's part of a necklace. So the diamond's in the center, and it's like wrapped in vines and flowers and stuff. So
So did our party have someone that handles money? Because you can't trust Magnus with money.
Morgat
We have someone that
usually
has a bank.
Yeah.
I have a bag of holding, but unless you wave me down or find me, I'm looking for potions and rations.
All right.
Find another
Well,
pig.
well,
I have
no,
1290
Morgak.
gold.
Morgak, it's very important. I need a big diamond and a small pearl. Trust me on this one.
Wait, did you find me?
Well,
Aren't you in the shops as well? Aren't we just in the shopping area?
it's not a big area. You can easily
Oh.
find each other. Like I said, it's like a handful of shops, very rudimentary, but it has your basic needs taken care of.
How much?
350 for the 350 for the diamond and 100 for the pearl.
Maybe we can talk that down.
Oh,
You can
boy.
try.
This is in case this will bring you like this will save you from a nasty bout of decapitation. So it's definitely worth it, Morgak.
Everybody's been doing that but me.
Yeah.
You know, dying, I mean.
Not from lack of trying, but yeah.
Good.
Get good.
All right, well-
Oh, that's a challenge. I'll take that as a challenge.
Indeed.
An ancient red dragon flies on the tree.
Fuck yeah. If I'm dying, I'm dying.
See your death.
All right. If how about 100 for the pearl? 100 for the pearl.
You just said 100 for the pearl. I mean, like, talking to shop owners down. When I've been
Yes,
around people other than orcs, I see them talk to people to get things for cheaper.
Oh, I see. See, normally I just have my people handle the money, but yeah, let's see how this goes. Shopkeeper, we are about to embark on a righteous quest to heal the tree folk of this land. Are you sure you can't spot us a loan or a discount?
That's nice.
Alone's
Like,
only discount.
All right, roll for persuasion. See what he says.
Oh no.
The Spriggan kind of looks at you quizzically. I'm assuming you know Sylvan.
I know Elvish.
Okay, so he has no idea what you're saying.
Okay.
He just kind of like smiles and nods, like he knows, but he's just like he doesn't.
I would approach. I'm there, right?
Like, okay, we're gonna play charades then. I'm gonna point to like the bad spots on people,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna make like a crossy hand wave, and so I'm gonna make it go away, and then I'm gonna point to the point to the object and say, "I need that to."
This is gonna be one heck of a performance check.
And then,
Yep.
I'm gonna make a smiley face with my hands to say that you're gonna be happy. All right, let's do this, everyone.
All right.
There we go.
Oh!
So the Spriggan, surprisingly enough, looks at his arms where he's got the wounds, and he looks down at the diamond, and he kind of just like looks at the price that he has set, and he takes it off the shelf. He kind of like scribbles something on it, puts it down again, and it is now 150.
150. Come on, Morgak. This is a bargain. This is a bargain at twice the price. Come on.
Okay. Well, yeah, puts down 150.
Okay.
But you owe him.
So the Spriggan happily takes all the gold and puts it in a chest in the back corner, and then hands you the necklace, smiling. He hands it to you, Harkon.
All right.
So is Hivsham over here now?
I think he was drinking and trying to find you guys, so yeah, we'll say he's with you guys. And for Morgak, I'll say that you have... Actually, let's get you to roll for investigation. I want to see if you might be able to figure this out yourself.
All of us or just
Okay.
him? Oh.
Just him. So Morgak, you don't see any place that sells potions. All you see is a bunch of like bowls with some weird looking flowers and herbs. You don't really see anything that could resemble what you already have on you.
Oh.
From what you can tell, like they're selling like salves and they're selling like kind of like bandages and stuff, and they have like a bunch of herbs and flowers put out on the table, but it doesn't look like they sell any actual potions.
Morgak's just gonna point at the bowl with water and a flower or whatever, and he's just gonna say, "What is this?"
So the Spriggan also looks at you quizzically and tries to form in hand signals what it does. So it points to your scar and it does like an X with its hands and brings them down. So he brings up an X with his hands and arms and brings it down.
Can I translate for him?
Sure.
No, I get it. So, like, it gives you more scars.
I was like, you sense. He says it might cure your wounds.
Yeah.
Does it have to be in a bowl?
Beats me.
So the Spriggan looks at you. He takes the flower out of the water, and he takes out like a mortar and pestle, puts the flower in, and he points to 3 other objects in front of him. So a couple other flowers and like some seeds. He takes that, and he starts making a paste out of the flower. Throws in some green liquid. It looks like it was just like mashed up moss and just like liquefied leaves, and he starts turning that, and from that you see him make like a greenish red paste, and he kind of like dips a little bit in the tips of the top of his fingers and rubs it on one of your more recent wounds, and you feel like this nice cooling sensation happen as he puts it on your skin. And he just kind of like holds up both his hands, like, "See, look." It feels like it's a nice feeling.
All right. I don't know what else to do with this information.
So
Ask if he can put it into a jar or something, Hivsham, and how long it keeps.
Sir, we are interested in your product, so I would like to ask, how can we contain this paste, and how long can it endure during the travel?
So he says in Sylvan that it will keep for almost indefinitely until you've used all of it. And he gets what looks to be like some wax paper, and he takes the salve that he's already made, puts it in the center of the wax paper, twists it around with some vine, and hands it to you, and says that if you want to heal any recent wounds, you can use this. It will take a day to take effect, but it's like a rejuvenation salve, so it's constantly healing you throughout the day.
Oh, that's a nice thing to know, and
Yeah.
I'll tell all of that to the others.
So it's a healing salve that will heal you throughout the day, and it will heal a total of, we'll say, 2d10.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's pretty good.
Call it a healing
Huh?
salve.
Folks, I'm cashing out for this one. I have 50 gold.
Okay.
Alright, I want to ask Hivsham to ask them what for, trade-wise.
What they will take trade-wise?
No, like, what are they using the gold for that we're giving to them? What are they, in general, buying with it, since they seem to be set for resources and such? I'm curious as to what they use the gold.
Sir, apart from the our current deal, for what do you use trade-wise these golds that we're using? Because obviously some of you do not accept that.
So he looks at you and is like, he says some more adventurous, younger versions of ourselves. So like he calls them saplings. The saplings take their earnings and they go to town and they buy pretty things. the older generation, the older Spriggans, they take the gold and they melt it down in the great fire that you guys saw as you came in, as a tribute to their god.
Such a nice thing.
So they have, ultimately, they really have no use for gold with the exception of tribute.
Interesting.
But the younger saplings, they use the gold for like pretty things, like iPhones.
Darn new saplings.
Apple has a whole new meaning.
Yeah,
That explains a lot of stuff.
yeah, they buy a lot of Apple, Apple products, mostly Macintosh, but some of them they get Spartans.
What is the head of the company, Jeeves Sobs?
No, I'm pretty sure his name is Red Delicious.
Ah.
Yeah.
Middle name Juicy, but we don't talk about that one.
So, how much of the salve do you guys want to buy? Salve will cost you 25 gold pieces each.
How about a kilogram?
Kilogram. So, if you want to buy 10, you would probably... we'll say he'll sell you about 10 of these for about 300 gold. He'll give you a discount.
Well, people, I'm currently broke, but, you know, I will gladly give all I have, which would be meager 60 gold.
60 gold?
Sham, I want you to tell him that we are going to try and rescue his goddess.
Alright, I will
Whatever
make the
affliction
puppy
he's
eyes.
under.
I will make the
That is our
puppy
goal.
eyes and speak like, Sir, we would gladly pay for all of this, but the situation you are currently facing is rather dire and we're trying our best to aid you. So if we can get a discount for now, we will give you not only 300 gold but 350 gold if we return from this journey. And we will save your forest and your habitat.
Okay, roll for persuasion.
Natural one.
Natural one. Oh! Alright, so
Snap.
with that, he will give you 3 salve for free. And he says, please come back with the cure for this. And he points to his arm.
I will be the most... bullshit. We will try our best, sir, and I honestly will not return here until I do that deed. I thank you, dearly.
Oof.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Roll deception.
No, I'm not gonna make you do that. He believes you. You rolled good enough for persuasion, so yeah. So
Back it up, we're not returning here.
Freya has now come down to find you guys. She says that the rest of your party is just resting at the top. They are eating right now. They have fruits and vegetables all set up in bowls in your hut for you guys to rest up with. And she also says that the mother is ready to see you now.
Oh, hey guys, just real quick, does anybody else see somebody sitting in this position right here?
Oh,
Not
Kinda,
kind
yeah.
of that. That's kind of like
Yeah.
leaves. Yeah.
yeah, I kind of see like a little bearded figure, almost.
Yeah,
I
and
see
I'm
it.
meditating.
Yeah.
Just, you know, like,
It's the
That's
shrooms.
interesting.
Definitely the
Yeah.
shrooms kicking in again.
How long do these shrooms last?
They did, I ate.
Well, I think the only person that ate them is Hivsam, so he could be imagining all this happening right now. I would totally pull the whole "this was just a dream," and all you guys are dead except for him, and he's tied up. Yeah. Womp womp. You just see him like drilling out the side of his mouth. Is like, wow, he's having a good one. Yeah.
I would slap myself like, maybe this is all just illusion, you know. I never met these people. I'm still sitting at home
Yeah,
eating
rich.
cheese pie.
Eating cheese pie.
Maybe we haven't escaped the cells yet.
Maybe you haven't escaped the skulls yet.
Yeah.
This is really strange. Morgat, can you slap me a slightly not strong?
I'll roll a strength check.
Okay.
See how
You
bad
need
this
to control.
Natural 20.
Damn.
Okay.
I
Okay.
really wanted that nat 20.
So he slaps you in the face pretty hard. It leaves a bit of a sting, but not enough to leave an actual mark.
Feel awake now?
Shake my head left and right. Holy shit, that's one good illusion.
Alright.
And I put some blood.
So, did I find anything interesting at all?
Oh, were you looking for anything in particular?
Not anything in particular, no.
No, like I said, you just like stalls with fruits and vegetables, wool clothing, some jewelry, herb shop where you guys picked up the healing salve.
Any interesting books or something?
Doesn't look like these people read.
Actually, considering that'd be made of plant life.
Yeah.
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 I think they do a different kind of reading.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah. Okay. So Freya leads you to the top of the tree. I want you guys to roll for, let's say, Constitution. Let's get you to roll all for Constitution.
Check or save.
This is gonna be bad.
Ruben falls from the tree.
I burst into flames.
Oh,
The
oh, shit.
irony.
So Morgak, you're just like booking it up these makeshift stairs, no problem. With Magnus and Hivsam fairly close behind, Oust, you're out of shape, my friend. So you guys get to the top, and Oust, I'm gonna have to say that you get a point of exhaustion from just going up. There's like 50.
Wow.
There's 55 flights of stairs.
Alright, where do I put that in? Or is that just something to note somewhere?
Yeah, I'll put that in my notes somewhere. But right now you're exhausted.
Alright.
Yeah, all that walking is killing you right now. So as you wheeze to the top, you guys see a gigantic bonfire in the center of the tree here. It looks like it's all wooden boards with the exception of the bonfire itself. It's made out of what seems to be mostly gold, but it's gold plated. So it hasn't melted, but you can see underneath the gold plate there's some iron work underneath that. From that you see the spriggans of the trading posts and all the shops come up with their expenditures, and they lay it at the foot of the bonfire and just kind of like back off and start clasping each other's, well, we'll say hands, and just kind of like swaying back and forth, humming. And from behind the bonfire, up on a pedestal, we'll say that's about there, you see a large spriggan, regaled, like completely covered in like various just like flower garlands and like a long necklace of flowers and grass and all that, vines wrapped around her like a cloak. She just kind of like says some things in Sylvan, and then they all move forward to pick up their pouches of gold and open the drawstring bags and throw it into the bonfire.
Such a waste.
So, Hivsam, what she's saying is like, basically, what we take from the earth, we give back to the mother of us all. And she just like waves over her hands, and they throw all the gold into the bonfire, melting it.
And I transfer everything with radio frequency to the others.
Okay. So you see Freya go up the side of the pedestal there, and kind of like the larger Spriggan kind of like bends over as she whispers in her ear and points to the rest of the party, and she just kind of like nods solemnly and then waves over the rest of the Spriggans, and they all start dispersing back down the stairs.
Well,
So she makes her way down the pedestal, and she sort of like does this little bow with her hands together towards you, and she says welcome in Sylvan.
I will bow. We accept your. How do you say?
welcome.
Holy shit.
Bullshit. Is that in character or out of character?
Wait, I'm thinking.
The bowl of the shit.
A bowl?
You bring tribute to our Earth Mother called bullshit. We welcome it gladly. Throw it into the fire so it may stench up the entire place.
I'm pretty sure they'd use it as fertilizer anyway.
Yep, true. For all you know, they
Probably
eat bullshit.
Precious than gold here.
For all we know, they have beds that they sleep in with the stuff.
It's gonna be a rough night.
Gosh.
I mean, if you couldn't smell rotted pig and just not vomit, I suppose you'll be fine.
I'm in
So
for
I
you
would-
guys.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would thank her for the
No, I'll be
hospitality.
fine. Same reason.
So
Yeah.
she says in Sylvan, do you speak for this entire group? Are you the leader?
Well, I am the leader.
Okay.
I will proudly say with a great smile on my face.
Okay. Ah, you must be quite wise. Yes. Well, I must inform you of our situation. You know of the Black Root, I assume.
Unfortunately, we heard and saw the results of the plague, as we
Yes.
might call it.
To explain in simple terms, we have Guardians of the Force that protect the entire land. They are basically, how you say, priests of Aereithel? We have lost
You would
contact
say.
with all of them.
That might be strange. And so basically, as we heard, there is some rather evil thing in that marsh. So,
Yes.
do you know anything else about it?
The only thing we know is that it originated from the swamp area and has spread since then. It has been months, but it seems to have spread nearly across the entire forest, with the exception of our home, for now anyway. But a lot of my people are dying, as you can see. They've been infected, and it continues to kill and maim everything it touches.
That is quite unfortunate. We would gladly assist you, and we are heading that way anytime soon. So, but before that, did you contact your deity to see if she can help you or us anyway with the?
They've lost contact with her,
If
I believe.
it is possible, we may be able to contact her, but as far as we can tell, she is very weak. We don't know what happened. Perhaps, maybe if you stay and meditate with us, we can help you. Maybe together talk to her.
I would help you, but there are some issues with my. Long story short, I'm really not in the good mood. I mean, I'm not in. I can't really do that. I'm kind of.
I
fucked
don't
up.
wanna.
I would not say that.
I'm
thing.
in a bad mood.
I'm a pissed off elf. My shit broke. So
I'm better than this.
she
I am
kind of
mentally
like
not prepared for that.
she
yeah,
nods
okay.
solemnly. He's like, "It may take some time, but trust me, you will be well rested after."
I know,
You-
but it's with the nature of. Now I need to somehow trick them into thinking that I'm not the cell soul. So I would say something like, there are some issues for the deity I currently, let's say, worship. So it might backlash if I contact any other deity in the meantime soon. I would gladly assist you, but if you think I can't do that, I will, but nothing good can come out of it, I currently think.
She nods solemnly and is like, perhaps, maybe one of your friends could help us. We haven't spoken to her since the plague has spread.
Ah, yes, and I would turn around, look at Morgak, and think to myself, should I make some really bad decisions? And I will roll a d20. If I roll above 10, I will not send Morgak.
Okay.
Was it 10?
Oh!
So you're picking
Why can't we send
Morgak?
multiple people?
I have a person that is really connected to the nature. Actually, he has grown in the nature, and he might be. I mean, I'm not sure, but he might be the person for the job. And I would point to the Morgak.
Okay. She kind of like looks over and the large one
Morgak's just gazing into the fire.
with
Morgak, look here. I will tell him mentally.
No.
No.
If you do believe that to be the one, then yes, we can commune with him.
Yeah, I think he would be the vessel. I mean, the person for that job.
Okay. So Morgak, you see this very large tree lady start walking up to you with sort of like smiling sort of eyes. And she
Her eyes are smiling.
well,
Like eyes.
well, you know how like when someone smiles, the eyes smile too. Like I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I
Yeah.
get what you're saying.
Shy.
Her eyes have teeth. No. So
I'm scared.
So she says in Hivsam, she says to you and Sylvan, please let him know not to be afraid. I'm going to attempt to commune with our god using him as a conduit.
Don't do anything stupid, or we will all die.
That's what
Maybe
you
you
said.
will.
Okay.
What am I signing up for?
Hipsham,
Nothing,
what do
just
you?
listen to the. Just don't move. Don't do anything strange. I mean,
Hipsham, what are you doing?
shut up.
So she
I'm saying
asks.
If anything goes wrong, I'm shucking you off of this tree.
So
Shrug my shoulders.
you see the large Spriggan kind of like nod to Hivsam and start outstretching her arms towards her head. What do you wanna
Don't
back
you
away,
move.
Morgak, or what do you wanna do?
Morgak's just staring her dead in the face, not fucking do anything bad.
Okay, so she she takes your head and she's like, says in Sylvan, because this is literally the only language she knows. It's like, ah, yes.
Shut up.
his mind is full of anger and rage, but it is empty inside. Like, this is all he thinks of. I don't know if he's the right one, but I will try. And she kind of like digs deeper. And he's like, such death and destruction. Trees burning. People screaming. And she just like takes her hands away. She's like, this man has seen so much death. Unfortunately, I don't think he's the one.
Looks like I overestimated my ally.
I just kind of looked dryly at Hivsham before.
Alright, I will participate in this. And I would look at the Reuben, shut up. In
Okay.
this ritual, I will try my best.
Alright. So she's like, no, just like, are you sure you're okay with this?
Well, what's the worst that can happen, right?
True. So
Of course I am.
she
I will gladly participate.
she puts her hands around your head and closes it in. So you now find yourself in the middle of a swamp right now, Hivsam. You're staring into an inky blackness with water about up to your knees. You suddenly see a flash of green energy burst forth in front of you, revealing a tear in space. You can see stars and galaxies larger than you ever thought possible, swirling with bright, colorful lights. One by
mushroom.
yeah, I think the mushrooms are helping right now. One by one, these stars start to like wink out of existence. As you continue to stare in awe, you see a shadowy figure below this portal that had opened, holding books open in either hand, standing in front of it, chanting. As he chants, tentacles begin to form around the outer edges of the portal, tearing the hole in the space larger and larger as it pours inward. A large tentacled mass then forms into a very tall, slender figure before you, and its body is enveloped in a tattered yellow cloak and face covered with porcelain white mask. One of its appendages reaches over and touches the shoulder of the shadowy figure. With energy of the books now drained, the figure drops the books and turns and walks towards you. The first thing that you notice is the figure is wearing a very familiar amulet around its neck with a crack down the center. As you gaze into the figure's eyes, you notice that they are a maniacal bright yellow. When the face comes into view, you see yourself staring back at you, eyes wide with creepy excitement, and forehead covered with sweat, and mouth curled into a smile as sharp as a dagger. Before you have a chance to say anything, he takes his hands, grabs your head, and a symbol flashes in your brain before he lets out an insane belt of laughter, and with sickening wet crunch, he rends your hand from your body. And the symbol that flashes in your head is the yellow symbol of Hester.
Alrighty. I probably did not say anything to him, right?
No, you didn't get a chance to.
Yeah. Okay, so I suppose I'm returning to the reality now, right?
Yeah, so she takes her hands away from your head, and you kind of like blink, and the fire's very bright, but your eyes begin to adjust. She's like, "Did you see
I
her?
would fall to the ground.
What
I
happened?"
saw more that and I would just stop staring in the horizon.
Okay. Did you see Aereithel? Where is she? Is she alright?
I saw the end.
Oh, that is very unfortunate. But since you're here, it would be fine, of course. You will save my people. I believe in you.
I'm starting to doubt in that, but I will try my best. And I was like, try to stand up, but my leg would be still shaking.
Okay.
And I would speak in the common, mongrels, get me off the ground.
Do you mongrels assist Hivsam?
No.
No, I just kind of sneer at him.
Yeah, I'm literally like a bastard, so yeah.
You and me both.
So they're all just standing around, just like, no.
When I rip your heads off like I did to myself right now, you will be sorry.
What?
Sorry.
I'm
One
gonna
guy's
tell
still
you.
staring into the fire, by the way.
Pretty. You're probably thinking, look at the amount of pigs I could cook in this baby.
One guy's thinking, how is this tree not on fire? Or is it technically on fire? Maybe it's under fire.
Yeah, is this
Yeah.
supposed to
Above fire?
instead of
No,
over?
because the tree's
Depends on
technically beneath the
perspective.
fire.
Depends on perspective.
I wonder if I can burn the tree. Or no, not the tree, the tree people. That's what he's thinking right now. They count as fire, would it?
Wait, hold up. If she saw through Hivsam's mind, did she see anything about
She didn't see
him?
anything. She used him as a conduit to try and communicate with her god, but instead of communicating with her god, Hivsam saw his god.
In his full prime and glory. as the happy bastard that he is. Alright, so I would stand up slowly and say, don't worry, I saw a way to end this blight that happened to you, and we will try our best to help you. I appreciate the housing you provided to us, and we are grateful very much to you.
Okay, so she kind of like nods to Freya and is like, I must rest. That took quite a bit out of me, but Freya will assist you in the rest. She will lead you to the Lashen, and they will help you destroy this blight upon our world and remove the Blackwood from my people. And she just kind of nods to Freya, and she just kind of like steps forward. She's like, you are very brave people. I'm somewhat jealous I could never fight like you.
Or
Brave
into the
or
rotten
stupid?
field.
I think it's we're still out on that one.
Miss, I will tell you one thing, and it should be a lesson for ages. Do not go for adventures. You end up like that guy, and I would point out to the... Well, not to the Morgag, but...
Oust.
Yeah. Kinda got that feeling.
He does look malnourished. Perhaps you are right.
Yeah, let's stick to that.
Don't listen to him. If you want to go explore outside this forest, do it.
I'm too afraid to go alone myself, but with you around, I'm sure I will be perfectly safe. Nothing bad could possibly happen to me.
Yeah.
And then she trips and falls into the fire.
My hands would start shaking. No, it's just a consequence of mushrooms and that incredible drink you gave me.
Oh, you mean the grog? Yes, we actually, one of the young saplings brought back a recipe made by the dwarves. It's very delicious, but I only partook in it once and then passed out. Because I have weak constitution.
I recognize the grog as a
a
dwarvish
second.
word and just look up.
Is the grog the thing that they served in that tavern when they captured me? I would ask the other people.
Oh yes, it probably was, except we had our own little twist to it. Mint and grub. It's far more delicious.
I will try my best
Grub?
to contain myself.
Yes, grub. Like they throw like a big, fat, juicy worm in there.
Protein.
It's like a chaser.
Oh boy.
And yeah, so I would let myself across the fence and barf into the lake.
Oh.
With the amount of projectile you fire off into the lake, we'll say that you managed to hit a couple leaves on the way down, but more or less hits the water below. Is it just kind of lightly splashes?
Technically, if you hit the tree, you hit the Sylvan, so,
Yeah.
Oh. Don't know
okay.
if she's pleased about that.
Oh, it'll be
It
fine.
was not me.
So, after that wonderful vision of death and destruction, what do you guys want to do next? I'd say right now, with all your walking and stuff, it is now dusk again, so it's another day is almost past here. Yeah.
Eat, sleep.
Eat and sleep.
Drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rave, repeat.
Rest.
So,
Sounds good.
we'll say that you guys managed to find a place that, we'll say that you go into your little hut and you find about like half-eaten bowl of fruit and vegetables available for you guys, as well as a bowl of mutton that they were kind enough to cook for you as well.
Oh.
I just had the story.
Perfect.
And the rave music starts. You can see Arissa dancing on the table, shaking her thing and holding up her big mug of grog and going, "Woo! Woo!"
Sounds like a disappointed parent.
And her sister's up there gyrating against Igor as he's like, "This is the best time of my life, yeah!" I don't know how you do this, but I like to go to Unsa.
What is this music? Like, Alf just mumbles that under his breath.
Yeah. Orisa has like prestidigitation going right now, so all you see is like blinking multicolored lights all over the inner side of the ceiling of the hut, spinning around.
I lost someone. Hey, there he is.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
And
Well,
Orisa like points to you, Morgan. She's like, "You can dance. I know you can." And she like hops off the table and starts reaching up with your big bulgy arms. She's like, come on, spin me.
Eric's gonna roll his eyes and just put out his hand like in spinner, just once.
Okay.
and then she vomits.
So you spin her around once. She's like, "Wah!" And she's just like, as you put her down, she's like, kind of moves off to the side and onto her bed close by and just kind of like passes out.
Suddenly I think I'm telling a story, but I'm not.
And they're
But that's over.
yeah. And suddenly the music stopped because she passed out. So,
thank goodness.
Rave music is thankfully a concentration spell.
It should require some effort to hold.
so yeah, her sister and Igor go off to their beds and start like chatting it up before they go to bed. And Squiggles and Gloop were just kind of like off to the corner trying to sleep as best they could.
Can you come here for a second?
Gloops in the tree?
Yeah, Gloop's in the tree.
As long as he doesn't, dissolve the entire tree, I think we're good.
Yeah.
It seems to be
has
very
self-control.
thick oak, and it's very old tree, so he hasn't really burnt through anything yet. Just like mild scarring.
I doubt he has the taste for tree anyway.
Hmm.
And I would call for the Mesmerov.
Okay. So Igor just like finishes kissing the hand of Fertilla, and he just like saunters over to you. He's like, "Hello, my friend. How are you today?"
I'm terribly sorry to interrupt you in your courting or whatever, but do you have any antidepressants for me? I'm really in the bad mood. I mean,
Oh,
I'm-
antidepressants. Yeah, I get that.
yeah, something
Yeah.
for sleep too.
He pulls out a hallucinogenic mushroom.
So he kind of like rummages through his bag and takes out kind of like a dark purplish black liquid in a small vial. And he's like, "Take one of these in the morning and get a hold of me after." Well, seeing as today's not morning, you can take it now, it's fine.
I thank you very much. And
Yep.
I would take a drink of it and go to sleep.
Jawohl. And he goes back to hitting on Fertilla.
Hey, Smex, just a real quick question.
Mhm.
When the large tree lady was gazing into Morgak's mind, did Morgak see any of those memories too, or was there nothing?
Yeah, you would have seen that. So basically, it was just reliving what happened to that village that you were a part of, and what Morguts did to all of them. It was not a happy time.
Morgak's just gonna retire to his room then.
Mhm.
Oh, and then before going to sleep, he's gonna pull out that new great axe. You know, the cursed one?
Yeah.
Or the previously cursed. And just see if it'll talk to him.
So, roll for Arcana.
Arcane orc.
Efficiency.
Arcane orc.
11.
You think you see it kind of like a glow of faint red and almost like a couple drops of blood come out, but you're not sure. You think you might have just like hallucinated it.
Morgak's gonna put it back, just like maybe that dwarf didn't do as good as a job as he'd hoped.
Yeah.
And go to sleep. Or at least try.
Okay. Alright, so everyone going to sleep then? Oop.
Yeah, we've got a big cleansing ahead of us tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, we'll say all of you guys fall fast asleep. There are no more weird, creepy dreams, with the exception of Hivsam. That conduit that she opened in your head doesn't look like it was quite closed yet. So what you see...
I have a flashback?
Yeah, it's kind of like a flash or a vision of a dream. You see a gnarled tree in the center of like a writhing sea of vines, and inside the tree is a glowing red orb, sort of like pulsating. And before the vision cuts out, you hear a female voice yell, "Save my children," and you see all of a sudden come out of the orb a shadow being reach out with its clawed hands and try and grab you, and then you wake up. This is what you see before you wake up.
Do I scream after waking up?
Oh, of course.
Mesmerized!
Huh.
And he just kind of like snorts away because like, yeah, 2 in morning. Call me later. Good night.
Are you sure? Bloody Russians. And I would hardly try to sleep, but I think he probably doesn't want to go to sleep now. With eyes wide.
Yeah, you're not doing too good with the mental stress at the moment, I would say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no long rest.
No, not so much. So we'll say the rest of the night is more or less undisturbed. You guys do just fine waking up. With the exception of Hivsam, he's got a few bags under his eyes, and his eyes are bloodshot from the lack of sleep.
Yeah. I would be sitting in the kitchen or whatever part there, and with the mug I'm drinking water.
Mm-hmm.
Only natural stuff from now on.
Freya
No alcohol.
comes in with some more fruit and vegetables, and she asks you where you got the water from.
You left some water next to our table, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, that was the chamber pot. Let me take that from you. Yes, that wasn't removed from the last guest we had. Don't worry, we only pee water. It's quite amusing, actually.
More vomiting ensues.
I would slowly put it on the table, cross my hands like looking in the distance, and whisper something like, "Why?"
She quickly removes the chamber pot and replaces it with more. It smells very flowery and fruity. Actually, it kind of like smells like fruit punch, but with some more mint and some sage in it as well. She's like, we decided that we figured you would be very thirsty, so we brought you some. I guess you could call it excrement of fruit. Have it, excrement fruit. Yes, I mean fruit of excrement. Fruit poop. Well, yes.
Give us the fruit.
She's just like, yes, of course, and she just like puts the pitcher down.
Yeah, I would take it and say something like, "Well, what else can I eat here that may not murder me? Give it up. Whatever you have, I'll eat everything you give me."
Anything can murder you if you try hard enough.
So you take a good swig of it, and it is the fruitiest tasting wine you've ever had. Looks like they fermented it for a lot longer than they should have.
Something
Very
less
refreshing.
alcoholic, please.
She's like, "Oh, would you like the chamber pot back?" And she kind of like swishes it in front of you. It's like, it's quite harmless.
I want some food. Something to barf and contain himself, and like some normal fruits, please.
Oh, yes, I brought more as well. And she points to the table. It's filled with like apples and pears and strawberries and raspberries. and
Thank you.
one oddly shaped yellow object. You're not entirely sure what it is.
I'm afraid to ask.
Yeah. It's got
Keystone.
yeah, it's sort of like an oblong yellow shaped in bit of like a curl. It has very like seems to be kind of like almost rubbery fleshy skin. You're not exactly sure how to eat it.
I would still
Is it a
avoid
banana?
it.
She looks at you quizzically, eyeing the fruit, and she goes like this, and she like breaks it in half, and she's like, "You suck out the center. It tastes very sweet."
Why not? And I would do.
So if your character has ever tasted banana before, it's banana. But
Yeah.
because you haven't tasted banana before, you have no idea what it is. It just tastes very sweet and squishy and mushy.
It tastes kind of yellow.
Tastes like yellow. Yes, that's an excellent description.
Not bad thing. How do you call this?
To be honest, we haven't come up with a name with it yet. I usually just call it, like, I don't know, yellow stick.
Ah,
Yellow stick.
We love our yellow sticks here. They're extremely rare, but when we find them, we're so happy.
Is there an underground yellow stick market?
No. Unfortunately
They
not.
just sell fake yellow sticks.
They only have blue jeans there. Blue jeans and bootleg copies of D&D 5th edition. Or should I say, Labyrinths and Legends. It's bootleg copies of that.
Alright guys, I found this new game that I think we should try out called Labyrinths and
Labyrinths and Legends.
Labyrinths and Legends. We should totally
A
try it.
new game called Humans and Highways.
Hmm.
I'm interested. What does it say?
I can't read it.
There's a lot of
Something
numbers.
called English.
Yeah. Very close to common, but looks more sophisticated.
Can I read it? Because, you know, I have the ability to read everything.
You can kind of make out a couple words. You're not entirely sure what they mean or how to pronounce it. You see like words like care and refrigerator and stratlight. Streetlight? Stratlights.
Strutlights?
Strutlights.
They're mentioning some can you pronounce this thing? I would ask the Spriggan.
You probably pronounce it Dio. Dio. Dio.
It is Dio.
Dio.
May I know what
You thought
is-
you were playing D&D, but it was me. Dio.
Anyway, on with the story.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'll
she's
take
like
it in the backpack.
she points to that magazine. She's like, "Oh, those saplings leave around their toys. I don't even know how to read it. Apparently they do. Anyway, when you're ready, I'll meet you at the base of the tree and we will head out."
Okay.
Alright.
Spell slots be back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't have 43 health. There we go. Anything you guys want to do before we head down?
Nah, we're good.
No, just fill up on food and water and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
the usual stuff. Food and
I
water.
will just ask the kids if I can take a copy of the game, you know, to try to read it in the meantime.
And they're just like, "Yeah, sure. We got plenty of those. Here, take one of these." And he throws you like a little felt bag.
Thank you.
Mhm.
If I get to know anything, I will send you the messages.
Inside, you find the instructions to Monopoly, the game that tears families apart.
That and risk.
Perfect for finance.
Or my favorite, Life, where your parents look to you and point and say, "How come you don't have 3 children anymore?" How come you didn't go to college? See what happens when you don't go to college? See?
My question is, how did you lose those 3 children?
Car accident.
Yes.
Left them at McDonald's too. I've done that.
They had a car accident in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Were they driving?
Well, they didn't really have a drive-through, but I made one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, when you're pressed for time.
Exactly. I need my McFlurry. So I just drove right through and just made it myself through the window of my car door.
It was a rough day.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
All right,
sometimes
anywho.
you have to be direct.
Down the tree.
So you guys head down the tree, and Freya beckons you across the bridge, and she's just kind of like jumping expectantly, waving, smiling. She's like, "Over here!" And the other Spriggans sort of like form a half circle around her as you guys like cross the bridge, and they all start like cheering and clapping and like grabbing your hands and like shaking it like a lot more vigorously than they really should. Again, not many of these Spriggans have seen any outsiders, so they really don't have any social skills or cues to kind of like pick up on. And one of the Spriggans runs up to you, Hivsam. You're not sure if it's a male or female, but it gives you a big wet kiss on the mouth. And it says, thankfully in a female voice, "Good luck! I saw this somewhere in a book, and I felt it was appropriate for this occasion. Happy kiss."
How should I say this? Some books are not really for the children, you know.
Her kiss tasted a bit sappy, but it wasn't horrible.
50 Shades of Leaves.
50 Shades of Foliage.
Yep.
Oh, there it is.
Yep. That was probably what she read. It's got like a vine dungeon.
Maybe 10. Yes.
Anywho, you guys start heading off in a southwestern direction like you were... No, southeastern direction like you were before. Freya's...
After we
Oh, yeah.
After we exit, I would tell the others, people, what happens if we fail?
We won't.
I think they'll all die, and so it won't really matter. Like,
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll just wither away. It's fine. It's fine.
You know, we'll just happen to be indirectly causing the death of a large community.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
go
actually,
team!
No pressure.
But you guys have never murdered an entire village?
I refuse to comment.
Strange.
It's nothing new. Yeah.
Anyway.
So, Freya...
It's better not to get connected with them.
Yeah.
I'll just say that up front.
True. Don't make too many friends because you don't know if they're gonna last too long. Yeah. So Freya starts leading you guys. We'll say about like an hour or two has passed. From what you guys can tell, the deeper you go into these woods, the more dead they start to look. Like these trees that used to look like have a fall look no longer have any leaves on their branches, and they seem to be peeling back. Their bark seems to be peeling back now and revealing a lot of like a lot of that black sap that you've been seeing lately.
Am I getting flashbacks of Nightmare?
Kind of like every time you see like these trees, it kind of like flashbacks to that really weird pulsating red orb in the center of one.
And I would get pretty close to Morgak, like, mate, if anything attacks us, try our best to protect us, right?
So you're saying you can't protect yourself?
Not from everything.
Just don't die.
There you
I
go.
try my best.
Words of wisdom.
Sometimes I think you don't. And Morgak walks past.
Oh, so are you gonna want to apply that healing salve now or later?
Yeah, that wasn't a burn salve, sadly. So.
Ain't nothing gonna help him there.
I would shrug and say, well, he's not too much wrong. And like, continue to think about what he said.
Yeah. So you guys continue on, and the green grass gives way to some very barren-looking dirt. It's like nothing has grown here in months, from what you can tell. A lot of the trees have kind of like opened up into like this sort of like dusty path of like busted, dried-out twigs and dead tree wood. As you guys keep moving, though, you enter into a clearing, and through the thick brush and trees, you come to the clearing with a very lush green meadow. The sun is shining brightly down upon it, and you hear birds happily chirping all around you. In the center of the clearing is a large tree filled with plump fruit. From what you can tell, it is filled with like some of those fruit that you have had while you were in the tree village, but this looks nearly double in size. They look so large that they're weighing down the branches that they're even hanging on. And on the ground near the tree, you can see even more ripened fruit ready for the taking.
Yeah, same thought, Sam. Same thought.
No, it's not.
It's still loading for me. I don't get it. Yeah, that makes sense.
People, I am insane, but I might be a little too much paranoid, but this might be a trap.
I just kind of look back to see if I can see any of the decayed forest and where it meshes with this.
So, from what you can tell, the decayed forest, like the barren ground, gives way to like some almost instantaneous growth of like grass. It's like, and it's almost like in a full circle. So this clearing is surrounded by deadwood, but in the center is like all green meadow, and there you can see birds flying around the tree and everything. It's odd.
Yeah, seems legit.
The biggest mimic you've ever seen.
Try something weird and just roll a knowledge nature to see what's up.
So, Freya kind of like backs away from the clearing a little bit. And she's like, "This is odd."
You don't say.
Yeah. Normally.
15 on nature, if that's okay.
Let's see here. 15. As far as you can tell, it's perfectly safe.
Gibby, come here.
So Gibby happily hops towards you. He's like, "Yeah."
Give me one nubble, please.
Oh, what? Oh, bomb!
Alfred nubble. Yeah.
Bomb! And he's like quickly
Toss it in the middle.
Don't.
quickly lights the bomb and throws it into the middle of the meadow, and you hear a splash. And then all of a sudden there's a big explosion, and from the explosion you can see a bit of a, almost like a ripple effect. So you get a peek at this before it dissipates back into a tree.
Yes, the biggest mimic.
So, from what you can see here, in the clearing past that explosion that ripples across the entire clearing, you see an enormous pulsating red orb hovering over marshland. It's about 50 feet in diameter and suspended in the air by large tree branches that are holding it aloft from the water. And from seemingly out of nowhere, a Lashan appears, and his menacing figure towers over all of you. His eyes are glowing a deep red, and viscous black liquid seeps out of its oxen skull eyes and mouth. It raises its long, gnarled arms over the marsh in front of him, and thorned vines begin to sprout from the fruit that you saw on the ground and rip through the entire circular perimeter of the orb that is suspended above the water. And when it lowers its arms to its side, it jumps over the vines and charges directly towards the party.
Whoops.
Make for assisting bad.
And the meadow has fully dissipated back into like a marshland with like gnarled forest all around it and vines surrounding the perimeter of the forest. So basically, that little vision that you saw, that's what the Lashan looks like now. This is what it would look like if it was, well, not sick.
Will I start screaming?
Yeah, like Homer.
Yeah.
Homer screaming.
Yeah.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
Oh, so it looks like the original one where it's really dark and has blood on the claws.
Yeah, so that one there is basically what it would look like if it was infected. That's what's coming charging towards you right now. If it was not, that's basically what it would look like.
So it is infected?
From what you can tell, it's like covered in like the black sap that's oozing out of its yeah.
Hey, you're
I'm just
like
gonna go
That's a lot of screaming. That's a lot of screaming.
It's a good meme. Good meme.
But yeah. So I'm going to start combat next session. I think that would be better.
Oh,
Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Darn.
Just because it's been basically about like 3 hours now too, so I want to end it just to give other people a chance to try and play. But if they don't show up for the next one, this is what it will look like. So yeah, this is what the map will look like.
Neat.
darn.
Yeah.
We have 15 minutes until it's 3 hours. You sure? 13 minutes?
What's that?
Oh, I'm looking at my clock. It's 15 until we hit the 3 hour mark.
Oh, well, yeah, but combat's going to take a while.
I know.
Yeah.
Actually, we started a bit later than 8:30, or sorry, 7:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So when is the next session? Is it in a month's time?
We don't know.
So,
Where
what?
do you normally post it? Because I just happened to be around.
I post like sporadically. I try and get a hold of you guys as much as possible to figure out a time. And then I go off basically a majority's vote. It just so happens that I had this Saturday off. I'm going to check my schedule again because I think I have next Saturday off as well. If that is the case, I can run the combat session at least. I'll try and prep as much past that as possible, but at the very least I have combat set up. So if we have everybody show up, then we could at least have the combat session. You got to have a little quick little fight. And by quick, I probably mean like an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Oh, joy.
Wiki.
Well, I mean, worst comes to worst, I have my file back.
I mean, it all depends on what you guys end up doing, but yeah, like at least it'll be an hour, I think.
I think it's pretty straightforward what
A
I'm
little
going
bit
to do.
of murder.
Yeah, no, it'll be fine, guys. I know how to do charades with the tree people. It works with the merchant. This guy, we'll just do an hour of charades. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Perfect.
First
We'll
word
negotiate.
starts with death, ends with yours. Shit.
Yeah.
That is not yours.
Ah, sneaky.
I am prepared.
I hope so. So yeah, like I said, we'll play it by ear. But if I have this Saturday coming up off, I will let you guys know. We can do the combat session at the very least then.
Cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, here's hoping Hivsham's catalyst still works.
Yeah.
Does it?
We'll
Deafening
find out
silence.
next time on.
Delicious.
El Ramadis Mexo.
And then after the combat session, you guys can have a metagame of humans and households or whatever.
Ah, yeah. If
Sounds
we
good.
have enough time left.
Make characters in your characters. Yeah.
Or Jack's going
I'll
to play
be
as
the
Karen, the angered housewife.
Yep. That sounds accurate. You are,
I'm gonna play a poor, miserable student.
you are in the PTA meeting. You forgot that you can't have nuts in your bake-off, and you brought peanut brittle. What do you do?
Roll initiative.
Curse out the established.
Cue the screaming Homer Simpson vid again. Same reaction.
Yep. I've killed all the children. No.
Roll to shift blame.
Roll to shit blame. God damn it, Margaret! This is your fault.
Again?
Oh, you.
Uh,